Good morning to all my fellow watchers and people experiencing the tribulation. Whether you're here for the 240th day of my tribulation, or you're waking up to the first day of your own personal tribulation, or maybe we're all just in one big great tribulation, welcome to the tribulation. And the world continues to spiral down into chaos. It's Monday morning, January 9th, 2012. In San Jose, it's a bright, sunny, beautiful day. 66 degrees outside. It's been 66 degrees for the last several weeks. 2012, is a huge year as far as the tribulation is concerned. And because of that, I'm currently putting together a 2012 timeline, which I will be posting up on my website and possibly linking in or connecting to this blog and to my Operation End Times. Over at the Operation End Times, I kind of go a little more into the spiritual and into the world of conspiracy, because, that's the crazy thing about the tribulation, is that all sorts of unbelievable stuff is happening. And, the numbers are adding up: 1111, 121212, 666. No matter where you turn, there are numbers adding up. And it's amazing. But beyond that, we're living in a time where there's just events going on, disasters, things are just unbelievable. And, to show you that I'm not imagining things, here's today's paper. Unbelievable, which is Tim Tebow beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there is another example of us living in the most remarkable times, unbelievable times, when stuff is happening where, we're just in shock and amazement. And 2012 promises to deliver a mess load more of that. I've always made clear on this channel, that I've never claimed to be a prophet of any kind. And I've noticed some people claim to be prophets, and I've now seen some people where they say, oh, there's like main prophets, like Moses and Elijah, and then there's like secondary or third prophets, and I'm just a third prophet. But one way or another, they kind of say that they're talking to God. And you know what? I kind of communicate with God in my own strange way, but, I'm not really hearing any voices from God telling me anything. What I have made clear on this channel is that I just look at what's going on in the world, and I add 2 and 2 together, and it equals 4 most of the time. But even 4 can be unbelievable. 11, 11, 11, equals 33, but that could be unbelievable or believable, depending on what it is you're looking at. So, as we look at 2012, all the numbers, seem to be adding up all of a sudden. Like, why is there all this 666 stuff happening? The NBA, has a shortened season. They normally have 82 seasons. They could have set the new season at 70 games or 60 games, but you know what? They made it 66 games, and a season that's 6 months long with 66 games, 666. Does that mean anything? Who knows? But the numbers are adding up. Mitt Romney turns 66 in 2013, so does that mean anything? I don't know. The King of Sweden, Carl Gustaf, turns 66, and 66 days from his birthday, April 30th, is July 4th, and for some reason there's a bunch of people predicting that, big things or strange things are going to happen around the 4th, Independence Day. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But that's why I'm making my 2012 timeline, so we can look at all the events and people who are predicting these things. And if people predict things and they don't happen, I'm going to know. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say, hey, look, this person that predicted this didn't happen. And that's why even me, I'm very careful at what I predict, because I'm not a prophet. I just add up 2 and 2 and get 4. So as an example of that, from pretty much last summer, of 2011, in this blog, I've been talking about the blight of crows here in San Jose. And I've put pictures up on the website, I've put some video, but of course I've said, how come nobody seems to notice that? Well, you know, not that I'm a prophet, but 2 and 2 equals 4. So here's the headline of today's paper, the San Jose Mercury News, and it says, Eden for crows. And there's a picture of a bunch of crows in a tree. And guess what? That's what I wake up to every morning. Thousands of crows. They're everywhere. So, you know what? I'm not a prophet. I didn't predict the blight of crows. I just am aware of things, and I saw it way before the Mercury News saw it. So maybe now in 2012, people start taking notice. But, you know, there's all sorts of stuff coming. That's why I'm going to make the timeline. It'll be over at Operation End Times. So anyway, you know, the tribulation continues. You know, 2 and 2 adds 4. So when you look at what's going on in the world, we got Iran marching towards having nuclear missile capabilities. We got them trying to shut down the Straits of Hormuz. We got everybody in the Middle East eyeing Israel. We got Israel eyeing Iran, saying we're going to bomb you because we're not going to let you, you know, get nuclear capabilities. We got the United States with the Disarm America Act kicking in, and Obama basically destroying our military, giving us a bunch of smoke and mirrors on how smaller, littler, lighter, smarter is better, when all we're going to end up is weaker, dumber, and in more trouble. And of course, all the other superpowers around the world, whether it be Russia, China, you know, the South American countries, Venezuela, whatever, they're all, you know, conspiring against the U.S. You know, they even had a article that I found, I think it was on the BBC, of how Iran is in cahoots with Venezuela, where they're putting missiles that can reach America, you know, right, you know, in the off of South America down there. So, you know, our president seems to be oblivious to how the world operates. And, you know, we got other people like Ron Paul, where he thinks everything is rainbows and, you know, 4-leaf clovers. But, you know, I'm going to tell you, in 2012, it all comes together. All the pieces fit. All the numbers start adding up. And what you end up with is a possible World War III, an oil embargo, just all sorts of kind of negative things. So another thing that's kind of in the mix that's going to be huge this summer is the Olympics in Britain, the UK, the 2012 Summer Olympics. And a lot of people are all predicting stuff to happen in that window of the Olympics, you know, of a possible Antichrist, a peace deal breaking out, you know, some kind of supernatural sign during the Olympics. We'll have to see. It's all going to be on that timeline over at Operation End Times. But, you know, when I add up 2 and 2 and I get 4, you know, I look at why wouldn't the Olympics have some kind of huge... everybody watches the Olympics anyway. It's a global event. All eyes are on it. But why wouldn't it have some tie into the global economic, geopolitical world as well? Because if we look at history, that's what's happened with the Olympics. Prior to World War II, Hitler tried to showcase the Olympics, and they, you know, they were actually held in Germany, I think. And that's, you know, when Jesse Owens went over there and basically kicked ass in the name of America. And of course, even in the 70s, the Jimmy Carter years, when Iran first reared its ugly head with the Ayatollah Khomeini, you know, back in 72, I think it was, the 72 Olympics, there were basically some terrorists, some Islamic terrorists that were holding hostages during the Olympics that year. So, you know, once again, it's not that far-fetched to look at the 2012 Olympics in the UK and the state of the world, and it's easy to add them up and say, yeah, you know what, something is going to probably happen, you know, not only the Olympics themselves, but something geopolitical, you know, as well. Somebody will try and use the Olympics as a bully pulpit, or worst case, to make some kind of statement. So anyway, once again, that's 2012. Going to be a crazy year. And of course, at the end of the year, December 12th or 21st, we got the end of the Mayan calendar, where it all comes together, and, you know, probably something amazing happens, unbelievable happens as well. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it for today. You know, got all eyes looking at the world around us. I'm going to be getting into how to prepare during 2012 over at Operation End Times. I'm going to be talking about Exodus and going into the wilderness, still trying to figure out what that's all about. Over here at Tribulation, we're just going to put our Tribulation hats on, and we're going to hit the Tribulation head on, man, because that's the good news. Is as much as there are evil forces at work, there are going to be positive forces at work. It's kind of a counterbalance, and there's things that we need to be doing as well. Thinking of friends and family, and I'm actually kind of sad this morning. My godfather, my uncle Ralph, passed, so to all my family out there, just hang in there, and peace, and Uncle Ralph is now in a better place. So, all right, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna think positive. I'm gonna go out and look at them damn crows today. We got all sorts of stuff coming in the next month or two. We got the election in Russia. Of course, we got the election here in the United States. Personally, I don't even know if I'm gonna vote, and I'll talk about that maybe on tomorrow's blog, because I didn't vote for the longest time. I quit voting in '92 because I felt it was a complete corruption of the system. I came out to vote in 2008, big waste of time, so I'm trying to think, why should I vote? Because with what's going on in the tribulation, voting, it doesn't pretty much matter who gets elected. And if, we're continually choosing between the lesser of two evils, then we're just sliding down the path towards, destruction and unsustainability. All right, keep on rocking. Peace.